trust on January 6th, but she paid her price. She spent 60 days in jail. You might disagree with the amount of time, but she paid her debt to society, right? Do you guys agree with that or disagree with it? Hello, Warner. How are you?
Do. Hi, good evening. I definitely do. I mean, I think, we have to give ourselves grace. We have to give others grace. We're all flawed human beings. None of us are perfect. And so who am I to say that I'm better than somebody else as a human being? I may disagree with your actions. I may disagree with your beliefs. But when it comes to, devaluing a person, what happens on toxic TikTok and Yale Talk sometimes, it's something that we all experience. Listen, Bobby, I was on your live earlier this morning making breakfast for the kids, and I almost joined because I felt empathy for you because I've been in the same spot as you. I've been exactly where you are, and I know a lot of other people have too, where you had I don't want to say naive, but you expected maybe when you went into a certain live that there was some commonality or community with folks. I mean, even last week, I literally went into a live. I didn't request to come up. I was just in the comments, and I just said, "Hello, everybody," and I got yelled at because I think they just had a judgment on my profile picture, and they went off on me, and and I stepped away from that, and I just it hurt my heart. I was like, I think I'm a good person, and so it happens to all of us. We've definitely been there, and I was certainly there with you, even a week and a half ago. The other thing I wanted to kind of share is that I mean I think Nikki said it very well. When we go into a MAGA live, I mean, we go in with our armor on, right? We know what's going to happen, right? Now, it doesn't always happen. I've actually been in a MAGA live where for 2 hours I was in one, and they were mostly respectful. They felt like they could quiz me on things like what is a woman and all that kind of stuff, where they just were picking to find something that they could judge me on, right? But we go into MAGA lives, a lot of us, right, and we have that armor on. And sometimes when we go into that and we think how we would be treated, it does hurt. And so I'm with you on that. The other thing I kind of wanted to say was I'm glad that you're leaving the door open to come back. When you were on this morning, you were pretty adamant. They're like, "Hey, I'm done with this. I've shared a lot of great information, and you have. I've learned a lot, and I kind of felt like, from your standpoint, is I've given you this information, and there's enough folks that have given me feedback that they understood it and motivated them to maybe research more on immigration and the border and what's going on there. So I'm happy that you're leaving the door open to come back. Um, Great, because last 2 points I'll make is one thing that I know for sure is, Bobby, you are influencing people in a
This
positive
is
way,
really
people
pissing me
you will
off in
never
there.
meet.
I've been silenced twice
And
for
I think
telling
it's really
them
powerful to
to
keep that in
stop
mind, that
silencing
there are people that don't have
BIPOC
necessarily.
voices in this live, because not even just because they blocked and got rid of Taurus, but they blocked and got rid of, it looks like, Tasha and Beth, I think I saw go in there, and some other people. They've already blocked 2 of my accounts, and I'm going in there on another one.
That caught me by surprise, to be honest with you. There were literally hundreds of messages, uh, very inspiring messages that I appreciate very much. And some people I've never even talked to before, saying that they fell asleep listening to my live, and I didn't realize that. And so it did have an effect on me. Uh, and then I saw Granny's video on YouTube, and she's posting things where she's interviewing MAGA. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's incredible that a 7-year-old woman is still fighting the fight at her age, despite being attacked by both the left and the right. And that really influenced a lot. Tiffany, Bad Bunny, everybody that sent me messages, I appreciate all of you. I really do. I am going to take a break. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to be. I just I do need to get away from it for a little bit. I got other stuff I got to take care of, and I need to just kind of re-energize myself. But like I said, Warner, I do have a different mission at hand. It's not just immigration now. My mission now, there's two things I want to accomplish here now, is I want to see and kind of think about the extremism on both sides of the aisle, and to kind of maybe just keep that in mind when you're going into other people's lives and what that actually looks like. And if I'm ever starting to become something that I don't want to be, please call me out and say, hey, you're starting to act extreme, because you know what? I'll introspect and say, wait a minute, maybe you're right. One thing I won't take is any more BS in the comments. And if anybody comes in here and starts yelling and name calling and using ad hominems, you're out. I can't deal with it anymore, right?
Yeah,
So-
one thing that I kind of live by is 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that you'll always do better if you listen before you speak. And I think some folks have kind of lost that. And then the last point I'll make, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop and give somebody else an opportunity. When you're not on, something that you might think about, maybe it doesn't resonate with you, but it resonated. Somebody said to me a couple of days ago: observe, but don't absorb. Observe, but don't absorb. And that touched my heart, because I shared with them, what's happened to me. And it's one of those things where, it's good to listen, it's good to learn, but you're not always going to be in a state where you need to absorb that kind of negativity that's coming in. And it's hard to do. We all have hearts, but it's something that's kind of been rattling in my head. So something to think about. Listen, I'm going to drop. Thank you so much, Bobby. I'm glad you're thinking about coming back. I hope you do. You're a good person. You got a great heart. Hello. And, I can tell that, there's a lot more that you can share. And so thank you for all you do, and I hope to see you back.
Thank you, Warner. I appreciate you so much.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm doing my best. Have I made mistakes? Yeah. Yesterday I did put somebody up on the screen. I was really ticked off this morning. Did I make a mistake? I'm doing it, maybe. But here's the thing: is when people start to actually threaten me, I have a serious issue with that. And I've been threatened before. I'm not necessarily worried about certain people that
Is Discord finally going to start acting
really
right?
irks me and it pisses me off.
It did now.
But I did
It's been
point them
fucking
out.
up.
Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did.
Did you hear about the Carroll
Now
Spring,
there's
Illinois
gonna be
cops that
people
shot
because of their skin
this
color.
black
They're
dude
gonna
in his
say
fucking
that
bed?
now I'm just pointing them out because of the skin. I mean, I'm a person of color. Does that matter to
There's about to be riots up in fucking Chicago.
people? They literally told me
Fucking
at some
6
point in
cops
the message
into an
saying,
apartment.
I'm getting
Hey,
that
6 cops went up into an
white
apartment
privilege,
and shot this
quote unquote.
black dude while he was in his fucking bed.
Este hombre acudió.
I was called an S word, the
Gross as
SPIC,
fuck.
educational purposes only, and I was called a wetback, educational purposes only. What do I have to do? How more? What is being patriotic? Calling somebody a nasty word? That's not how it should go. Anyways, guys, please chime in. I don't want to take up all your time. This is not just my show. This is your live as well.
I would like to say,
Please chime in.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I sure can.
Okay. I just wanted to say for everyone in the comments who's accusing us of silencing BIPOC. Not one person has requested to come up in the box, and all the folks that are saying comments do not have their invites on. So I just wanted to let everyone know that as well. They can be tough from the comments, but won't come up and chat. I also wanted to say another thing. As far as, I don't even know how to say this because I get very emotional when I talk about this, but I am still devastated by the far left and the comments that they made about you being a war criminal, among other things. And so when we talk about forgiveness and all of those things and compassion, how they can say that they love this country, but say cruel and mean things to you like that is beyond comprehension for me. And so everyone wants all this grace, but no one is giving that to you. So the hypocrisy to me is just blinding. And so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Tiffany. And they did call me a war criminal because I served from 2002 to 2010, and I went into I didn't realize it was a far left, room. And I was called a war criminal and a baby unaliver is what I was called. And I don't understand that. Why? Why do you have to disrespect? I never disrespected anybody. So thank you, Tiffany. I think I might have repressed that a little bit. I forgot about that.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes.
Do you believe in white privilege? White privilege thing in America? In the United States? You actually don't know. Since it actually took you that long to answer, you don't need to. That's the answer, right?
This is the reason why I'm asking. This is why I'm taking my time with that. And I think it's okay to take a second to think, because when you ask me that question, why are you asking that question?
Because to me, it's more than obvious that you don't believe white privilege is a thing in America. And you you saying that you're on the left and not believing that white privilege is a thing, it blows my mind. Everybody that said anybody that hang on.
Yeah, hold on a second. It's okay. If they take it down, I'll just come back some other time. Go ahead. So I have a timer on what I can say, and
hold on, guys, don't report the live. There's nothing being said, and Bobby's trying to have a conversation, just like he's having with Ryan. It's a respectful conversation. There's absolutely no reason for you guys to be reporting this live. That's just a chicken thing to do.
It's okay.
Sorry, Ryan.
No worries.
Bobby G.
Yeah, Ryan is my name. Yep.
Okay.
I just keep hearing all these things about the far left and the extreme left. Extreme left is not putting up with the.
Este hombre acudió a la barbería.
Being far left is not putting up with people that don't give a shit about people that are racist and don't believe in white privilege in this country, then I'll be far left. And those other just one more live earlier, I can't remember the lady's name, but on your live earlier, you had a lady that said these words. That was 400 years of hatred or anger, 400 years of anger coming out.
Why do you all give these people attention?
You sat there and nodded your head and agreed with those terms.
Gosh,
what did that lady mean when she said
that
that was 400 years of hatred coming out? People have the right to have 400 years of hatred coming out and to not put up with stuff and not play both sides of the fence. There's a lot of playing to both sides of the fence going on in this live.
Due to the fact that when you call 911, such as a girlfriend did,
with MAGA and Trump trying to get in office, there's no both sides of the fence.
And shot the man.
There's zero room for that. Zero. So if you're not full,
watch the link that is in the chat.
Anti-MAGA and all that, there's no coming together. There's no kumbaya.
So Ryan, can I answer your question? I'm sorry, Bobby. Go ahead.
That's the exact rhetoric that I'm trying to dispel because you're the divider. And I have realized that
Actually,
there are people on the far left that will have that message that they're going to dispel anything that the right says, no matter what happens, right?
what is this?
And if you're voting for Nikki
I'm
Haley,
listening to
for example,
mumbling.
you're going to have
That's
a
why I'm
problem with
like, what
being
the fuck's
called
going on?
racist, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to put words into your mouth the way you put words in my mouth. So what I'm trying to
What
tell you,
words did I put in your mouth?
well, you're trying to suggest that
He,
I don't have time to answer
he
your
threatened
question
what?
because of your
Well, stop.
framework of how you're asking the
He
question.
threatened what?
Because I want you to land that plane. What everybody's starting to say now is to
You're
get
talking
to your.
about my question about white privilege?
So
Is she
no,
going to
I'm not
mute me
saying
again
that
for
it
saying
isn't
that?
privilege, but
Coddling MAGA
that
or
is
former
just an
is wrong
opinion.
and does not
I'm
help in
talking about.
deconstructing
Let's
racism.
talk about facts and what I saw yesterday.
What
That is
part of all these white fragility
inexcusable
people
from the
don't you
people on the left.
I'm sorry,
understand
Bobby,
yet?
let me cut you off real quick because
Half the people that y'all follow are
witness
white
live
Did I cut you
yesterday.
off?
fragility.
No,
Did I
no,
cut you off?
no,
Okay, then
no.
be quiet.
We're trying to get rid
I
of
didn't cut
some
you
of the
off, so be
fucking
quiet
white
for a second.
fragility,
It's
but it
important
doesn't
to the
seem to
conversation. I'm sorry.
It's
stop.
important to you
Block
because you
them.
only want to know what you want.
No,
You're only
I
thinking
just
about what you're going to say
It's easy.
next. Hold on a
Block
I
them.
second.
only want to talk about what we're with today because I wasn't in the live yesterday, so I don't know what happened yesterday. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
then maybe you should think about looking into that before you say anything.
I'm not judging anybody what off base yesterday. I'm
You
talking
are
about the I'm not. I'm talking about the conversation
judging
that
me
I'm
because
having
I'm
today.
thinking about your question. Is it okay? Is it fair for me to think about your question before I answer?
If white privilege exists or not in 2024 is not something that needs to be thought about for a half a second,
Okay, so
especially
you're
if you claim
basically
to be a
saying
Democrat.
that it's us. Okay, you're saying that it's just us against them, right?
What does that have to do with white privilege?
I'm asking you, is it just us against them now?
Us against who?
The people on the far right.
Mm.
Yes.
Or right? Yes? Okay. So I know people that are on the right that are voting for Biden. So you're against people voting for Biden?
You
I
said
mean,
you
how does
said
that
you said far right.
people on the far right that were
There are
MAGA?
not people on the far right voting for Joe Biden.
Granny is.
She's supposedly not far right anymore. She's supposedly trying to wrong her rights, or
Well,
excuse me,
according
right
to
her
you, she
wrongs.
is far right. According to what I saw
I
yesterday,
I
everybody
never
thought she
said
was
anything
far
about
right.
her.
Well, then you need to pay attention because that's not what we're talking about. Yesterday, you said you listened to what happened, and then now you're saying you weren't there. So which is it?
No,
Ryan,
Bobby,
Ryan, are
I
you saying
wasn't
that there's
there.
nobody
Yes,
on
I
the far
wasn't
left?
there last night. I've only been here today
Okay,
listening to your live.
so Ryan, understand what you're saying first before you say it. I am on the left, and I'm not saying I've experienced racism.
Ryan, are you saying that there's nobody on the far left that is going to vote for Trump?
Nikki, what's the far left?
I'm just asking a question.
No, I need to
What do you
Because
understand
feel?
what you mean
I'll
by.
tell
I
you
need
how
to
I feel, but
understand.
you're telling me that there's no such thing as the far left, and
I need to
I'm telling
understand
you
what
that
you
there
mean by
is.
far left. Is far left wanting this planet to survive? Climate change? What's far left?
No,
Antifa?
I believe no.
What's far left?
I'm Antifa, and I believe in climate change. That's not far left.
Okay, what's far left then? I can tell you what far right is. What's far left? You guys keep saying extreme left, extreme far left.
Hey,
What's
Ryan, calm down.
Hey
Calm down.
Ryan,
You're right.
how about
You're
you
right, Bot.
Ryan? How about you
Yeah.
let me get a word in edgewise?
Sure.
Question.
You
Like
come in here
seriously.
all hot, just like MAGA
Ah.
does. That's extreme. That's what we're talking about.
I'm more than happy to answer your question if you would stop talking for more than 3 seconds and let me get a sentence out. I asked you if you thought anybody on the far left was going to vote for Trump, and your answer was another question. Don't unmute. I didn't finish my sentence. Let me explain something. This might be Bobby's live, but he knows me very well. I'm a mod in another live. I don't put up with any crap. You want to call me a witch or whatever all you want, that's fine. But you will not overtalk me. The reason I asked you that was because there are people on both sides. The far left right now are people like Rashida Tlaib in Michigan telling everybody to vote undecided or undeclared because they want to make a point. When they know that that's going to put everything in jeopardy, and when they were interviewed afterwards, they said, yes, they would rather vote for Trump than vote for Biden. And why? They
Rashida.
said because they didn't think it would be that big of an issue. But there is, because he has all these different things like, I don't know, a Muslim ban. So there are people on the far left that are trying to hurt people that are in the middle. There are two sides of this coin, and there are a whole bunch of people that are in the middle that are stuck there.
So you so far, right? What name or the one example of the far left?
You asked me
You?
for an example. I'm giving you one. Do you
I'll
need
give you
me
an
to name
example.
12 more?
Well, I don't want people. I want extreme. I want far left extremism. What does that look like?
The pro-Palestine movement is a far left extremism. Now, what you asked me? Mute your mic. You asked me. It is an extreme leftism because they glue themselves to the street in front of the Macy's parade. They go to other places and are completely terrorizing people. There is absolutely no reason that I shouldn't be able to walk into my temple because they're standing on the street corner. I should be able to go in and agree with the people on the left. I should feel safe with the people on the left because we supposedly agree. I go into a MAGA live, and just like Warner said, I know what to expect. They come into our live. I know what to expect. But when you, as a left person, come at me and tell me that I should be unalived just because of who I am, and you claim to be on the left, you are far left.
Yeah. Listen,
Any other excuses, I'm not giving you. You're not gonna get it.
I'm gonna. The only reason, Uncle, you can come up next time. We can talk more about it. I just don't feel like arguing today with. I feel like you're on the far left. I could be wrong. But what I will say is that I appreciate your comments and coming up here. I don't want everybody to just be attacking you, Uncle. I get your point. It is what it is.
Uncle Rusty didn't talk yet. That was Ryan.
Is it Ryan?
Yeah, Uncle Rusty didn't talk yet.
I'm sorry, Uncle Rusty.
Hey, can I just say one more thing before I go?
No, you may not. Please, just listen. I just want you to listen. You can come back next time. Okay, just come back next time. I'm not booting. I just don't feel like arguing. You are quintessentially the far left, and you said it yourself. You're the far left, and you're proving what far left sounds like, right? And there's a difference between.
Take a breath before you say something.
Stop yelling. There's no need to yell. I don't know where people got this idea where yelling makes you right. It doesn't. Just because you make dogmatic statements and you make it sound like it's true. I've caught so many different lies and different lives. And just because you say it with confidence, it doesn't mean that you're right. And that's why I had an issue with T today. And he came into my live trying to bully me. And that is seriously what happened. He told me, go into my room. And I was like, I'm sorry, no. But I said, look, I give you like an 80% percentile on your immigration information that you put out. You don't have all the facts, and you actually misstate some stuff, and that's okay. We all make mistakes. Even I will make some mistakes, and that's why I have Rolo, and I say, hey, Rolo, was this correct? And he always says, correct. Or, oh, but maybe there's also some other things that we can think about. And that's the way you start gaining some more knowledge, by listening to people that have more knowledge than you. yes, I have 10 years of experience, almost 10 years of experience on the border, and I've studied the law. I've studied immigration law, and I have a good understanding of it. But it doesn't mean I'm an expert. I have a subject matter expertise. Not
She's
saying
the
I'm
one
an
who
expert,
silenced
but I
2 of
did
my
do it for a long
accounts. That's
time.
why I'm saying
Right?
something
Hey,
to
what's up,
her.
Doug? Did
By
I
the way,
skip anybody? I'm so sorry. It's free. It's free
Rusty,
time.
you
Actually,
I just
skipped
want
3. That's
everybody
right.
Rusty on
3.
the bottom.
Rust. Okay. Rust. I'm sorry, Rusty. Uncle Rusty. What's up?
You know Rusty.
Yes.
Nick came earlier to come into the live. I was unaware of what happened yesterday. I wasn't on TikTok at all. Obviously, it was something very bothersome to you. Sorry that happened. And one of the problems that we on the left have always had is the inability to coalesce into one idea. It's something that the right and Republicans are very good at. Even if they disagree with something, very good at coming together as and being a solid movement. We have so many ideas
I'm
on the
getting
left,
tired of this shit.
and varying degrees of the same idea, that we're willing to
Why?
stand on our soapbox, pump our fist in the air, and defend to the bitter end, that it is often very difficult for us to come together and coalesce as a unit. I've always been a believer in this statement by, I think it was Confucius, that said somewhere in the middle lies the truth. And while I'm a Democrat only because it's the only way I date. I had been an independent for a very long time prior to that. And I am a liberal, and very proudly so.
But I'm on the other one.
But
Oh, that's right.
this idea of,
Am I still silenced
the
on that
argument,
one?
what
Yep.
is the far left, what
But
is
I
the
can
far left?
watch.
That is just a specious argument. That's somebody trying to pick a fight. And we don't have time for that crap. We've got MAGA to deal with. We need to stop the infighting. And my understanding from what Nikki told me earlier and what Bunny told me earlier is that ex-MAGA Granny was catching hell from both sides. Is that a correct statement?
Yesterday was just the far left.
It was just
And
the far
I
left.
hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And, the infighting, when you say infighting, that's within our own group. I am not grouped with the far left. And I realize that there is a difference between how I conduct myself and the far left conducts himself. There's a big difference.
Oh, I'm just saying it as a blanket statement. If you look at, as a general rule, if you look at the left and liberals, we're a bunch of cackling chickens. When you look at the right, they're a unified body. And that's where we start to run into trouble. And yes, those numbers on the right are going down. They've been going down for a long time, which is why they gerrymander and do everything they can to try to maintain power. But we have to find a way
will not stop running though right now.
to meet in the middle with each other at some point and say, what do we agree on? Let's stick with that.
Yep.
We'll figure out the disagreements later. What do we agree on? Let's stick with that. That's what's going to give us power. That's what's going to give us a juggernaut of a movement. But as long as, it's nuts when people on, the further left bash Democrats. We are the party that's going to have any power at all. You want to be in the Green Party? Be in the Green Party. You have the right to do that. Good luck winning an election. You want to be in something further left than that? Great. You have the right to do that. Good luck winning an election. You do not change a system from outside of the system
Fuck me.
without tremendous damage all the way around. You make the change from inside the system. So you have to become, you gotta you got to pinch your nose, and you got to hold your breath, and you got to work with people that maybe you don't agree with 100%.
Yes. Yep.
But you agree with 50%. But we're all in the same side. Stop the goddamn infighting. It's not going to help us. It makes us just as bad as MAGA, except they're unified. They're unified. We are not. We need to be just as unified, but be on the right side of history. They're unified in bigotry and stupidity.
Hey, 100%. And I've said this. We sound like an echo chamber, you and I. And I've said this before. But Uncle Rusty understands that I went into a left live, and as soon as they found out that I was a Marine, they called me a baby unaliver. And look, I'm supposed to have a thick skin, and I do, but if it's coming from the right, I don't give two craps.
Sure.
But it came from my own party, and that's what bothered me. It really did bother me.
If I can chime in on that point for just a second. My father, 3 tours of Vietnam, and he was not in the motor pool. He was the guy behind enemy lines. He was in a couple of very special teams. And he had always said he did enough military for both of us. And you'll appreciate this. The only time he ever pushed me to join the military is when he was mad at me. And I told him I'd join the Coast Guard, which would shut him down instantly. But when one of the things he brought up to me when we were talking about issues like PTSD when you look at World War I, World War II, and even Korea, what did the American public get as far as information about the wars? They had the movie tone news. They had, newspapers. They had very specific radio broadcasts. What happened in Vietnam? CBS, NBC, ABC were on the ground reporting the news and the horrors of war. And it shocked and freaked out a nation that was perfectly happy not paying attention to it except the movie tone news. And so those veterans were coming home and were also being called baby unalivers and war criminals. And these were just, people serving their country, doing the job they were tasked to do as soldiers. And that hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten worse because the general public can observe the war. And it's horrible. And they make these brash judgments from the safety of their own living rooms. They're not there. Even some of the modern politics. I was having this discussion with somebody earlier where they were really upset about certain things going on in the Middle East. And I said, we are in an untenable position because we have an allegiance we have to honor. We have to. And it's difficult. And yes, there are things we have to work our way around and figure out. And it is not an overnight solution. And we live in a culture that wants 30-second solutions. I mean, you watch a cop show, the crime happens in the first hour and the trial is over by the end of that hour. And the world doesn't work that way. Expect fast, easily digestible solutions. Doesn't work that way. Never has, never will. And I think oftentimes a lot of people on our side of the aisle have fallen sucker to that. They want that quick solution. I would love for us to have universal health care yesterday.
Yes.
That's not going to happen without a lot of baby steps, trial and error, and fighting it out. And yet, I'm willing to have that fight. And it seems to me like a lot of people on our side win in 60 seconds. They don't want to fight. They want to bitch. It's like, no, you got to have the gumption to get in there and fight. And agree or disagree with ex-MAGA Granny, she woke up and she's now getting into the fight. And, good on her. Good on her. Is she 100% right? No. Is she learning? Yes. We should back her up. We should support her and show her more learning. Show her better ways to understand these things. She's got a lot of work to do.
Uncle Rusty, I followed you.
Thank you.
Keep in touch. Let's keep in touch. And I like rational thoughts, and I'm looking for some direction here because I like your opinion on what you think I should do, because I obviously want to pay attention to the border. Excuse me. But I also want to now pay attention to the extremism.
Yeah.
And what it means. So are you suggesting that I should leave that alone? And I'm just asking politely, and I will take what you say in consideration, because am I fighting the wrong fight?
I don't think you're fighting the wrong fight, but you know as well as I, it isn't one fight. We have multiple fronts we have to fight on. And I think we have to pick and choose where the bulk of our energy is going. I'm not a one topic voter, but I will say that county fiscal policy is not at the top of my list when I go into the voting booth. I look at, I pick and choose the bigger pictures. And anybody who says there is no left extreme is just wrong. They don't understand, or they're afraid they're going to be lumped into it and get called names. No, wanting universal health care is not extreme. No, wanting equal opportunity for everybody is not extreme. No, nobody said that's extreme. And when you're looking at, and especially the current Democratic Party on the national stage, yes, you got a bunch of old white guys that are dying out that were towing the line for safer for they're going away, and even they're starting to move a little bit left. So again, it's incremental step, and I think that we can define the far left as the guys who are leapfrogging to.
She did it again.
I want everything. I want it right now. I want this. I want it right now. And no, that's just not how it works. And I hate to sound like an old guy, but I am an old guy. But that's just not how the world works.
Right.
And you've got to be willing to get in and dirty your knuckles for decades. And be willing to fight.
Totally agree with you, Uncle Rusty. We'll keep in contact. Give me 1 second. Doug, what's up? What's up, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you. Been a little better. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm good on Tylenol. And
yeah, well, I hope you start feeling better. Anyways, I appreciate you having this live and talking about this. I know obviously have some people disagreeing with you and stuff, but I saw people claiming that there is no far left, right? And here's my viewpoint. I don't think they're bad, quote unquote, but they absolutely do exist. I mean, there's a lot of people who self-identify as far left, who I'm friendly with on this app. They themselves say they are far left. So to deny that there's a far left is a little silly to me. But yeah, so when I first came onto this app, several months ago, I was more or less in the middle, maybe slightly to the left or something. And I got opened up to a lot of quote unquote far leftists as well. I just didn't know really they existed, to be honest with you. I didn't know, I just kind of assumed your average liberal is as far left as you can. Yeah. That's a lot I didn't know. there was tons I didn't know, and I've tried my best to keep an open mind. I've changed my mind a lot on certain issues, like especially with the trans community. There was some. I was not totally for it in the past. I'll say, and now I'm 100% for it. You know, I'm really caught up on the research. Like I'm 100% for it. You know, so like so long story short, from an ideological standpoint, I mostly agree with the far left. In principle, I do. Here's where I disagree. I disagree in terms of like the rhetoric and how they sometimes converse with others who disagree with them. That's my issue. You know, like if you feel so strongly about these issues, whether it is maybe about trans people or the Black community, whoever, that's great. That's really good. You have strong views, but don't you think it might not be the best idea to belittle and attack somebody right off the bat? Like, don't you think that might cause them to not want to hear you out? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to monologue here because I hate my life.
I have patience with everybody. Usually, typically I do.
And I think inherently, and I don't want to like blame the far left. If you're constantly you yourself being attacked from society, if you're say a trans person, I get why you're going to be maybe a little quick to react to people who disagree. I totally get it because you're so used to being put down. So I'm not trying to take that away from them, but maybe you may not be in the best spot to talk with people if your first reaction is to yell at them. Maybe you might be better off not being on TikTok for the time being, right? I just think if we want to spread, we need to discuss them civilly, as you've spoken about. We need to be able to talk to people as human beings, and if they don't disagree with us, or if they don't agree with us, that's fine, but let's move on to the next person, right? Because maybe that person in the future might be apt to change. Maybe they're just not in that spot at the moment, and that's okay.
Doug, that's a good point. And like I said, I've gone into other lives when it comes to MAGA, and I specifically would look for MAGA to really poke at them because I don't like extremism.
For sure.
I don't. And you've heard me. When people talk nonsense from the right, I come in there sometimes in a couple of situations. I come in there kind of in a facetious way. Right? You've heard me, Doug.
For sure.
But here's the thing, though. You know, like if we're gonna start infighting with each other, and I wasn't expecting that because I thought that somebody like myself that was actually in the mud, I am as far left as you can go when you say I'm in Border Patrol and I'm dealing with a bunch of Republicans and I openly go against the grain. I could have told everybody, yeah, I'm a Republican and I'm going to go with what you say in Border Patrol so I can be part of the group. I didn't do that. And I think that's where and now I'm realizing that I have to have courage even within my own group because I may not I may disagree with the people that identify as far left and the people that in my opinion, are far left. And I don't like the way they just
that is 90
come at you.
bookmarks
And I'm in the same party. So that in itself is very disappointing. I didn't like the way they dealt with the 70-year-old
and they're
woman.
going everywhere.
I thought we were supposed to be
I
a
have the
party
camera
of
on.
compassion.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
You would think so,
No.
and I just don't think that's the best
Where's she
look
lurking?
if we're constantly telling
90
people that they're
bookmarks so
in a
far.
cult and we want them to change their views. That's probably not the most helpful way of going about things. Does she probably have some ways to go?
Are they still
For
going
sure,
on at that
but
live?
just not that long ago, she was a far-right MAGA. Like, how far do you expect somebody to go left in a short period of time? This shit takes time. You have to be patient with people. Nobody's born being far left or just naturally becomes far. Like, you have to work your way up there. If that's what we
so they
see
finally
as
ended
being
that
the
live?
goal, so to speak, right? So you have to work with people. You have to be patient, and yeah, it's just frustrating, man. I don't know. I just see some hypocrisy, you know.
You're a good person, but that's the reason why I love you live. I listen in when you don't even know I'm listening in, and I appreciate your live. And you know what? You're a fitness guru, which I love. I just kind of got away from being the fitness person myself because of aviation. But I absolutely love Doug. He is fair. And one time I said, you know what? I called somebody out because I thought they were weren't being so straight on the military record, which I still believe.
I want to know who
But
Miss
Doug
Piggy
said,
is. I
well, that
think it's
doesn't
Tasha,
necessarily
but I'm
mean
not
they weren't
certain.
military. Remember that, Doug?
Yes, I do.
And I appreciate that because you are correct. And I thought,
Quintessa?
you know what? You're right, Doug. Because when we talk about
She got blocked
words and how
too
we
for a little
point
while
things
there.
out, you know, in
She said
criminal
hi
justice,
to me,
you
or
have to
they
have
said
proof
hi to
beyond
me.
a
Sorry,
reasonable
hold on.
doubt, and there might be that may not necessarily be true situation. And you're correct, and I appreciate that.
Oh, it's you.
And
Shut
I
up, you
told you,
brat.
you're right.
Can I
You're
chime
right.
in? Can I chime in for just 2 quick
Yeah,
points?
Uncle Rusty, go for it. We got Doug here, so yeah, please.
Sure.
I mean, how long do I have you, Doug?
I can do a few more minutes. I'm good.
Yeah, please ask Doug questions.
Well,
He's
yeah.
a great
2 things real quick.
human being.
One, while it is no excuse for anyone on the left, or centrist or left or far left, to attack this 70-year-old woman who is trying to make change, there is no excuse for it. However, I know for myself, and I think I can speak for a lot of us on the left, we're exhausted with MAGA. We are so emotionally and intellectually beaten up by MAGA. And it is the nature of defending yourself. What do you know, why is it people attack members of the family? Because it's easy. This is a family member, they'll forgive
And now
me.
I get muted again.
You know, versus
Fucking bitch.
I'm going to go out and
Every
pick a
time
fight
by
with somebody.
Tiffany.
So it's easy to attack somebody who's trying to join the club when they were completely on the other side.
Rannon.
Because
Okay,
we're
Rannon
exhausted
hasn't
and
been in there.
and
Let's see if
in
she
some
wants to hear
people's
some
minds they want
meows.
revenge.
I'm going to start meowing
And
at her
it's
just
wrong,
to fucking poke at
but
her.
it's understandable, I think.
Bitch.
We just have to continue to appeal to them. Don't do that. We're trying to bring more people onto our side. And to Doug, one of the things you said a moment ago when you were talking about people,
Yeah,
and how you had an issue in the beginning and now you don't.
yeah.
It reminded me of an old axiom that
I'm
I
going to
have
see what
tried to
happens
live
if I
by,
keep meowing at her.
which is what we do not understand, we fear, and what we fear, we seek to destroy. And what you did was, instead of seeking to destroy, you attempted to understand.
Yes.
And that's the key, and that's the difference between us on the left and those on the right. We may fear something and not understand it, but we start asking questions, figure it out, versus, oh, I'm just going to, try to destroy this thing that I don't like, and it makes me feel icky. And I applaud you for coming to understand and going, oh, okay, it's not as, weird and scary as I thought. That's what we all should be doing. That's what we should be doing with MAGA who are trying to come over to our side. That's what we should be doing with each other, is try to understand that person, because then you don't fear what they stand for anymore.
And I can say this: I am by no means totally defending the MAGA grandma, whatever her name is. I wasn't in that live. I don't know all of the details, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk to people if they say something that's racist, transphobic, so on and so forth. Absolutely have that conversation, as you should. It's the way we go about the conversations, I believe, at times can be unproductive at times.
You're using the magic word conversation, not
yes, and it takes two to tango. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Not verbal assault.
Yes, yes,
yeah, and because we will never appeal with MAGA, and I know that Nikki and Bunny have seen me in Fact Still Matters lives, it's a fucking sport to me to go after those mouth breathers.
You made a whole account for it.
I did. I actually created a whole other account
For a little
where I
bit
adopt
here.
a clown personality and just chew into them like
I'm also
carrion on
trying
the
to, like,
plains, and it's
stop her
fun,
from, like,
and it's low hanging fruit and fish in a barrel,
getting
and
rid
I
of
don't
people.
care. And I know that if any one of them decide, what's that?
I'm gonna send him your Uncle Rusty the Clown.
I gotta see it.
For those in live, go to Uncle Rusty the Clown and follow.
Oh my God.
It's easy to attack a knucklehead, but when the knucklehead represents a voting bloc that's trying to destroy this country, yeah, I'm going to attack them. And yet I know I'm never going to win them to my side with big words. But if I can appeal to one or two, even in one of Facts Lives the other day, where it wasn't about politics, it was about, how are you? Apparently there were a couple of conservatives and MAGAs that were getting in there and were opening up and expressing themselves. It had nothing to do with politics, and we were all empathetic and having a conversation with each other.
It was a great live.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we need to get back to, instead of just fighting. But as long as those fucking knuckle draggers are going to keep acting the way they do, no, I am going to gladly attack them. And yes, I'll use big words because it makes them sad. But, when it comes to our side, we can't do that. And again, I applaud you, Doug, for coming to understand something you didn't understand and saying, oh, it's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but it's okay. It's not harming anybody. And that's where we need to get to, and that maybe we can peel a few of them off just approaching it that way. So that's it. That was my 2 cents.
Can I please say something? JD's been waiting in the queue for a really long time. So
I'm about to
if
drop.
they
I'm
could
about to
please
drop.
go,
You can
Hi,
you can swap me
Dougie.
out. Hey, Tiffany, how are you?
Thank you so much.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely,
See you
Bobby. Keep
later,
up your
Dougie.
things,
Thank you.
and I'll see you around next time you go live. I know you're taking a break, so I'll see you around. Okay.
Sounds good, Doug.
All right.
See you
See
in the
everybody.
live,
Thanks.
Dougie.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Also, if we could ask, anyone that's spoken for a while, if they wouldn't mind dropping. We have about 8 people waiting that want to get up and talk. Bobby, there's been somebody in the comments in the guest box that you can see that is BIPOC that is requesting to come up and join.
Yeah, I'm actually going to drop. Yeah, I'm going to drop. Bobby, thank you very much for having me up. And I understand you want to take a break, but we really want you back. You're an important voice.
Thank you. I am going to take a break, and it's going to be a little bit of a break if I need it. But I will come back, and I appreciate everybody's messages. I really do appreciate it. I didn't realize how many messages I was going to get, and that's going to keep me in the game. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Make a small little announcement that when Bobby comes back, he's going to be a mod for me, and I'm going to do some lives. So that would be a fun thing to do.
I'm gonna drop you, Bobby. I just want to tell you something. 3 things. Number 1, I adore and love you, and when you come back, even when you don't, I have your back 100%. I'll put my phone number in DMs for you, so if you ever need to talk or just anything else, I am there 100%. I will Jewish mom your ass to death. I don't care. You don't look like you feel well, and I, as a Jewish mom, am going to tell you to go take your freaking Tylenol, go drink some orange juice, and go to fucking bed. For TikTok purposes. Yes, I am harassing and bullying. 100%. And the last
Thank you
thing,
so much.
you're welcome, love. And I love and appreciate you. You and Rolo and Alive together are like the power duo. It's ridiculous how much I learned from you guys on that first night in Facts Live. And I am blown away by the amount of information that I was able to take away that I didn't know. And it's because of you that I learned all of that stuff I didn't know. So please take that and understand that, you know, people are assholes. they just are. And, you know, Bunny and I, as mods can tell you 100% they're just assholes. And my last thing is,
Yes, ma'am.
listen, us Gen X people, or us old fucking people, and even the ones older than us, it takes us a long time, and we're realizing that there's a lot to unpack that we didn't know was there. There's like layers of shit to unpack that we don't know. And there's a lot of stuff that we were taught or not taught that we have to unlearn. And Matt, 20 is older than I am, so that's 20 more years of layers of shit to unlearn. And I'm just starting to unlearn it, and it's because of TikTok. It's because of some of the BIPOC creators that have taught me things that I didn't learn in school, because, you know, they teach white people history, and, you know, it's because of everybody here. It's because of you and Rolo that I learned about immigration and about different parts of the world. Like, you're important, and I want you to understand that, and I want you to understand that, you know, just because it takes people a while to unravel shit. Go to bed, I love you. Go take your
Thank you so much.
and I'm going to go put my number and everything in.
I will here in a bit. Thank you so much for the support.
You're welcome.
Because of all the messages I received, I was actually flabbergasted because of all. I've never seen so many messages in my life, and I tried to respond. Thank you. And it made me realize something that I thought at some point or another, because of the situation that happened, I didn't think I had that many followers, to be honest with you. I know I had 3,000, but I received a lot of messages from people I've never even met. They spent time to send like paragraphs of messages, and I read every single one, and that meant a lot to me. And then I also looked at MAGA.
Miss Piggy, just go away. Seriously, you need 3 different accounts. Just go.
Yeah, and I was talking to Pam, and she is still pushing forward, even though she's getting it from both sides of the aisle. And I think that's incredible.
She does. She has a lot of courage. She's got a lot more courage than anybody else. Like I know. I don't know anybody else that, you know, would stand up to not one but the other two at her age. She can just be fucking home and enjoying like her grandkids or whatever, but she's out and trying to educate other people. And, you know, did she say some bad things? Okay, so teach her differently. Like, give her the opportunity to learn. It's the only way that all of us will learn and all of us get grace. And if you can't do that, then you're just as bad.
I'm going to say this quickly because I have to go.
I'm going to. I love you. Go take your medication. And Tiffany, make sure he goes to bed. Love you.
First of all, hello, Bobby. Please take care of your health, both physical and mental. You are clearly sick. There's no doubt. Your mental and emotional well-being. This app is toxic. We've discussed it before. It is undoubtable. Now, I listen to so many friends, so many mutuals, so many people that over the past several years I believe in, who were genuinely hurt. I listen to the hurt. I am not going to participate in hating on you because people feel hurt. I am going to support them expressing that hurt. That's where an awful lot of anger happens, and that's when the piling on happens, and that's when people make someone a sacrificial lamb, a target call it what you will. And there were people, yourself included, who got trampled over. Just completely trampled over. And I get heat, and I don't care. I could care less. I don't care about this app. I have a couple people I would miss, and beyond that, I don't care if I don't care about TikTok. What I mean to say is honesty and forthrightness, even when it's hard or even when it's controversial, is way more important than followers or controversy, getting their numbers up, stoking fires, misrepresenting people's character. People that I still believe in, and I know they're hurt, and I would not appreciate me not picking sides, not taking your side, and I'm not taking your side. I cannot, in good conscience, be one-sided about it. I won't be. I hope you feel better. I hope you get. I hope you just, whatever virus you've got, cold, flu, COVID, I hope you feel better really fast. And I hope you
Thankfully,
feel
it's not
better really
COVID.
fast.
I tested for that already.
Good.
Thankfully.
One of my children is also sick with some non-COVID thing, and it looks like hell. So definitely, you know how to take care of yourself. You weren't expecting what you got. I certainly wasn't expecting it. I could have jumped in at any time and taken sides and swung punches either at you or in defense of you. And I'm like, you know what? This is a grown-ass man. And these are supposedly grown-ass people coming at him. I'm going to keep my damn mouth shut. That's not because I'm spineless or that I'm... That was the right thing to do in my estimation for my well-being. And that is what everyone with any goddamn integrity needs to do for themselves and their loved ones and the country and the globe. You can take it small, you can take it huge. It's all the same story.
Again.
Do the right
She
things.
just blocked me again for saying that.
And
Did you see what I
Tiffany,
said last
thank you.
to her?
And thank you,
I
Bobby.
said I'm
Please
not
get
having
some
a
rest. I'll see you when I
conversation
see you.
with somebody
And if I don't,
doing all
message
of
me
the
whenever.
muting and blocking.
Sounds good, JD.
Because she's all
Appreciate
like, come up and have a conversation.
All right. Tiffany,
Let's see. That one.
that was like
I can add
an
an
hour ago.
account. What am I gonna make it?
I'm not sure how much time we have left. Hello, Sash. How are you?
Yeah. Well, I know.
Doing good.
Feeling well.
Who is this?
I'm gonna put some people
It
in
sounds
here.
like T to me.
Okay. Let me add one more. Sorry.
Oh no, that's him talking.
Let's see. Okay. What's going on, Sash?
I'm gonna drop so somebody else can come up. I just wanted to say one last thing before I go. This is everybody today. I'm glad you're gonna take a break, and you, just like Nikki said, take your Tylenol and water and go to bed. And just, I want everybody that's in here to listen, and please, can't reach MAGA if we're gonna attack someone that is trying to do the right thing now. That's all I'm going to say. So, good night, and I hope you feel better.
Thank you, Bad Money. I appreciate it. Good night. Let's see. I think Rufus been waiting, and then we also have Prime of Chaos. Okay, let's see.
Finally.
Okay, we'll start. I don't know who has something to say.
What should I call
Sasha, I
this
think you were
one?
next.
Yeah. Okay. So
Somebody give me a name.
I've been trying to think
I knew what I'm
of the
gonna
words
do.
I wanted to say because I did watch everything. I did watch everything, listen to everything.
Oh, shut up.
And hold on, my dog just walked in.
What are the name of those Muppets?
Hey, what did happen to
that
Militant?
do the...
He was up here and then. Is he in here? No, he's not in here, right? I thought I added him on here on the
Right,
live.
he did.
Hold on.
She
Yeah,
no.
he's there. Let me
I'm
see.
going to tell you, Tiff probably got rid of him
Um,
because she didn't like something he said.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sasha. I'll get Militant here in a second.
So I wanted to kind of go back to when you had Pam on your live, because that's when I came up, and that's when I first heard of her, and I came up and talked to her. Everybody is talking right now about having a calm conversation with her, and about doing things, letting her come to things in a calm way because she's an older woman. And that's what I tried to do. I took into consideration what she had been through, took into consideration her age, that she was MAGA, that she had been in AA. That's why I chose my words very carefully, right? I chose my exact words that the next was going to be deconstruction. And at that moment, I got cut off. I barely spoke for not even 2 minutes, and I got cut off. To which then JR came in and said, the only thing that they can do for you is play the race card. To which then I couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything else. I was very calm. I was very I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was very calm in the way I spoke to her.
Yeah, Sasha, let me just say that for that response, and why that happened is because I wanted to be. I didn't cut you off. I remember what happened, but
no, she cut me off.
Well, yeah, and okay, yeah. I'm just trying to say that the reason why I would have stepped in, and I did step in, is because I didn't want to put her on the defensive side. So whenever you're interviewing somebody, and it's not your fault, I understood what you meant, and I don't think that you meant any harm. But when you're interviewing somebody, you don't want to put somebody on the defensive, and that is interview 101. Right? And I felt like if I was in her shoes, and she did take it the way I thought she would, and I want to baby step her into her. And I thought that saying something that she wasn't familiar with was going to put her on the defensive side. And that's the only reason why I kind of wanted to change from that, because I don't think she was ready for that type of question. And obviously, she even said that she was defensive, right?
So, and then can I respond to that then? So, and then you brought up somebody else who happened to be a white woman, who then explained to her exactly what I was explaining to her, and she didn't get cut off.
It wasn't explained the same way, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
What was though?
She literally said she didn't want to do it anymore because she felt attacked the way you asked it, and it's okay because I don't think you meant any harm. It's just when you interview somebody, it has to be done in a certain way. I've interviewed thousands of people, criminals mostly. And when you want information for them to basically tell on their friends, you have to build rapport first. She doesn't know you from anybody else.
Then
so you have to build
for the interest of me learning, because I don't think that I only spoke for a matter of like 2 minutes. And I'm speaking exactly the way I'm speaking right now. How did I anything be different than the other lady did?
So I actually had to cut in between the two. I actually came in, I came in and started talking about it, right? I had to interject, and I said, look, let me just kind of diffuse the question a little bit. And I did. It wasn't just what you said, the white woman, and that's for educational purposes only. That's not what my live is about, and you know that, Sasha. You know that.
Right, yes, I do.
Are you suggesting that I'm choosing to listen to a white woman over you? And you know that's not the truth. I came in and I started interjecting my own opinion is because I wanted to diffuse what was being said. That interview, the question is a good question, and yes, you make a good point, But it does matter. It's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it, and you said it well, but then you got to look at what was being said and how she's taking it. It just wasn't, honestly, and I'm not trying to come at you, right? It just wasn't a good question at that specific moment. And when you interview somebody that has something like this happen in their life, you have to be very careful with what you say. Don't. If you don't answer or ask questions a certain way, they're going to clam up and they're not going to want to interview anymore. What did she say, Sash? I don't want to do this anymore.
She said,
right?
She said, I'm tired of being put in this box. And I didn't.
And that's what.
But all I said was the next step to take now. I didn't accuse her. I didn't accuse her of anything. I didn't call her any names. All I said was the next step to take now is, which
because
when I got cut off.
Yes, I remember that. You're trying to teach her something. And my message, I'm not trying to teach her something in this moment. This is not a classroom. I wanted to extract information from her, and she wants to tell her story. And that is the point of what the live is about. Because if I'm interviewing somebody that is a person that means harm to the United States, for example, I want to find out more information, not teach them. That's not what that live was about. I wanted more information. What is MAGA about? Does she believe that they were a cult? She said yes. What was the purpose of being there? Initially, it was just the film. Okay, after you film, what were you going to do? Well, she got caught up in the mix, and she became mentality. That's what I was looking for. I'm not looking to teach her at that moment. Yes, we should teach her, Sash. You have a lot of good information. I think that you could teach her how to use specific words and how not to use specific words, and to open up her mind to be more relatable to the left. I get that, but that's not what the purpose of the question at that moment was. You see what I'm saying? So you went from one
because the reason that I asked or that I was going in that direction was because she was complaining. Well, I don't want to use the word complaining, but she was saying that she was being. That is a microaggression. So and
your questioning was also
this is why I wanted to have a talk with you, Bobby, because you this morning you were saying that you're a man of integrity. You're a man that sticks by your convictions. And before you had a live with Tiffany, or this was Tiffany's live about women's issues, right? And you had said that you learned a lot, and you took the time to listen. But at the JR says a lot of things that are misogynistic, and I notice that you say a lot of things too, and I know you don't mean to, because you're taking that step to learn, which is the difference here, is that you're taking the step to learn. Now, are you willing to take that same step to learn when it comes to racial disparities, to cast?
So let me ask you, Sash. Let me ask you this, okay? And you already know the answer to this. I've had lives about me learning more in the social construct of things. I get it. I get what you're saying, but Sash, are you willing to learn?
Of course, I've told you I have learned. I've learned a lot from you.
Let me ask you, what have you learned from anything that I told you?
From anything that you've taught about border issues or laws?
Are you open to learning from my experience? Because let me just say this. This is a two-way road. And yes, I'm willing to learn about women's issues. And I think I am versed in some of the issues, but I will never be in your shoes. And that's why I said I want to learn more. Because I have a mother, I've got a daughter, and I want to know what I can do as a man to learn more about it. You can't just sit there and question me that I need to learn, because, Sash, what have you learned from me? Have you learned anything?
I've learned.
about what I just said about how about the questioning? Are you not going to take what I'm saying as the reason why I interjected is because the line of questioning was foul. It wasn't correct. And when I'm holding a live, I'm responsible, right, for my guest. I wanted to treat her like the way I said she was, a special guest. So when I see something wrong, I'm going to interject because I want her to feel a certain way. Right?
I
And
still,
I'm not coddling. I am not coddling her.
I still don't understand what I said that was wrong in my question.
See, you're not listening. That's why I'm saying, Sasha, you're not listening to what I'm telling you. Because if you're listening, you would know what I'm trying. You know what my premise is.
But
And I love you to death. We're part of the same community. And I've listened to you. I watched your videos, and I see eye to eye with you in a lot of things. But this is not a one-way road where I have to take instructions from somebody that's telling me I need to learn something. I want to learn something. There's a big difference. And I'm listening to you, Sash. But are you learning anything from me? And if I'm not giving enough of my experience to you, then that's the whole purpose of me being here, because I wanted to share my experience also. So this is a two-way street. I want to learn from you. And have you learned anything from what I've said?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Yes, I've held lives. Yes, I've held for the things that you would like to talk about.
No. I'm asking specific. Okay. So you're telling me that how I questioned her was wrong in comparison to question her, but I'm asking you how, because she explained she said the exact same thing that I did.
No, it wasn't the exact same thing. Because I had to come in there and kind of bubble wrap it, because that's not what was said. The other person explained it differently the way you did it. You didn't say the same exact thing. She actually explained what deconstruction meant.
Again, but I didn't even get a chance to say anything.
You did. And that's what I didn't want to go into that because it puts her on the defensive end. That's what I'm talking about.
But there, right there, why did she get defensive with me and not with her?
Then that's a question you should ask her. Did she not get defensive without me saying anything? She did, right?
She got defensive.
Yes or no question? Yes or no question, please.
She got defensive with me. She got defensive with me and not with her. This is what I want.
Yes.
This is what I want you to realize, Bobby.
That's what I'm trying to get you to realize, is that that's the reason I had to interject, because I knew that she was going to get defensive with your line of questioning.
I'm going to get blocked on that one too.
This is the reason why I went one-on-one first with her, and then I started, after the 2-hour interview, then I started allowing people to come up and ask the questions. We didn't have that type of defense when I started her, because I do it in a certain way, in a certain order that is based on experience. Okay? That's all it is. I didn't say you did anything wrong. I just didn't want to put her on the defensive end where I can't get more information from her, because she is a source of info that I want. Does that make a difference to you? I mean, it doesn't matter what I say at this point, does it? Because you're automatically going to say I hushed you, right? Because you said that, and I said, how am I hushing you?
No, I didn't. I said she did. She did.
Okay,
Not you.
well,
She did.
okay, but that's what you're making it sound like. And I'm trying to tell you is that, Sasha, I don't know how else to tell you, but I'm trying to tell you is that when you interview somebody, it's got to be done a certain way. It just does. And that comes from I'm in my 40s. I've done it. I was a state investigator. I interviewed children.
I understand. Yes, I understand that. I'm just trying to I guess, kind of guide you in a different direction to kind of see that she felt on the defensive with a Latina woman, but not on the defensive with a white woman. And
Well,
that was
no,
something
you're taking
different.
it the wrong way. That's not what it was.
It was what it was.
No, no. And
Because, and you
that
know how
is,
I know that? Because I didn't even get a chance to speak.
look, Sash, it's my duty as a host to protect the person that comes up to my live. And I didn't want to put her on the defensive end, right? Because when you put somebody on the defensive end, they clam up. And what did she say, Sasha? She said, I don't think I want to do this anymore, right? I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore because you're just coming at me. She said that, Sash. Do you deny that?
She said, I don't want to be put on the race card anymore. And that's
Okay.
not even what I was doing.
She said she didn't want to do that. But look, we can have this conversation outside of this live. There are other people waiting.
Okay.
And I've given you the opportunity to say as you please. It's just when I had a guest, I'm responsible for it. Just like the way she went into a different live, the host was responsible for that onslaught, and I can't deal with that. I can't allow somebody to come in and look, Sash. The line of questioning just wasn't there at that moment. Okay. So
That live was very, very poorly handled.
Mine or the other person?
The other person's. It was very, very poorly handled. She was not equipped to handle that because a lot of people were harmed in that live, and she did not know what she was doing.
has a live they're in right now.
But yes, I do. I'll give other people a chance to speak, but I do want to continue talking with you about this.
Yeah. When I come back, I am going to take a break. We can come back, let things cool down. I need a break.
Yes, I understand.
I've got a lot of stuff I got going on. We will continue this. This isn't just me coming up here and saying, Sasha, you don't have a voice. You do. I pay attention to videos, right? And I support you.
Right now.
And everything that you've done up until this point, I've been in agreement with you. But just because I disagree with you sometimes, it doesn't mean I hate you. I absolutely appreciate you. I do, because you are I see you as a hero because you're out there doing the good deeds that some people wish they can do, and you're out there protesting and doing the things that some can't do, or they wish it, or maybe they talk a good game, but they're not doing it, and you're doing it. So I appreciate you. But I wanted that live to get as much information as I could. I didn't agree with the line of questioning, the way it was asked, and it had nothing to do with race. It doesn't. And I did my best, and that's all I can do. Okay, it had nothing to do with your question. It just wasn't appropriate at the moment. That's it. Okay. We'll talk later in a different live, or when I come back. I only got maybe a few more minutes. I'm not feeling good. I'm so sorry. I usually go a little bit longer than this, but I can't. So thank you, Sasha. I appreciate you. You're always a friend of mine. And if you have something to say, and if you don't like the way I do something, it's okay to tell me that. But don't think that I'm quieting you down. I'm not. Okay. I'm for your message. So,
No, we can talk. We can talk. Absolutely, talk later. Thanks for letting me out.
Thank you. Top was next, I think.
Yeah, hey, what's
I'm not sure. What's up, Top? How are you? Semper Fi, brother.
Yeah. I know we spoke earlier. And I was reading some of the comments, about centrist and independence, pick a side, all other stuff, and this is, I think, the concerning part is, like you said, the extreme left, extreme right, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care, but what I do care is that we come together to vote against Trump. You know my story. I'm independent in the GOP in 2015, but I just want to throw a couple things out there that's concerning is Democrat registrations down to 27%. Same with Republicans, 27%. And the majority of this country is independents, centrists. 43% is that number. And I also want to point out that, if you've been following any of the GOP primaries, we don't know who they're going to vote for, but South Carolina, Trump pretty much, won all those states handily. But in South Carolina, Haley won 62% of the independent votes. In Iowa, 62 to 37. In Iowa,
Why
it
do
was
I have to listen to this
34%
idiot?
Haley, 42%
Can we
Trump.
get rid of Top?
But you had DeSantis and all
He's a
them were in
total
there. But
racist.
56% of the
I've already
independents did
seen
not
him
vote for Trump
before.
in Iowa. And then
I
you go
just
to New
got
Hampshire,
muted.
Haley won that
Fucking bitch
58% to
again.
39%. So you got to think about stuff like
Yep.
that. And like when you're coming on here like hating on people because
Tiffany,
they're in the military or calling them unalivers or whatever, that's happened to me before too. Or like I
Yeah.
told you earlier, just because they have the little flag icon in my profile, they send a paint a picture of me. But the point is, we have to come together at some point, and we have to get past this. And if it's giving people chances or whatnot, we have to try to understand each other. And like we have a common goal here. We need to not lose sight of that.
Yeah, brother, I appreciate your comments. I think you're 100% correct. I'm going to still continue to vote for the best candidate. I am not a centrist. I am a Democrat because I believe in empathy and welcoming people from different countries, and I'm all for it, even though I was part of the enforcement action of it. I still believe that they have rights, for example. And you know what? I do have friends in the military that are Republicans, and I love them to death. Just because we have a difference of opinion doesn't mean I hate them. And I will never say that about my brothers and sisters. And I'm proud of you, Todd, because even if you were GOP, I would still like your message because you're a good guy, and I can get along with Republicans. I just have a simple disagreement with our value system, and that's it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, but people on the right, on the far right, I think that they're bad people. I think they have hate in their heart, and I can't get on board with that. Same with the left, and I keep mentioning that on the far left, right? People on the left, I'm cool with. People on the far left, I've gone along with, but I've been into lives where they just name call me Top. I was called a baby unaliver, and that I was a criminal.
God, I'm getting tired of his white woman tears. I swear to God.
So, look, you know what I'm about, Top. We went to the same boot camp. We went through the same hardships of being away from our family. You did it longer than I did. You put a pack on your back. You had 60 pounds, 75 pounds of the combat loaded pack with boots, combat boots or jungle warfare boots, right? Yep. And we walked 25 miles just to prepare to go to Iraq. And the top of my toes were gone. The heels of my heels completely red, nothing on it, right? And it is a tough life, and it's difficult. Even living in the barracks is a difficult life. So all the hardships that we go through, and we still have Jody to contend with when we're overseas. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. I can't
it's
take
a
this
difficult
asshole.
life, brother.
I can't take this asshole. I can't take this asshole.
I cannot identify with people that call my buddies, my brothers,
I'm
and
glad
arms
I got
and sisters
blocked from him on my main
who have
anyway.
been unalived, and they call them war criminals. I just can't get on that. It's horrible. It's despicable.
Well, and on kind of a funny quick story is my 15-year mark. I went into medical. I kept having these like problems for a long time. Like bones and stuff under my right big toe. And I found out at my 15-year mark that I had bone spurs the whole time. Go figure, huh?
Man, Mr. Captain Bone Spurs.
Hell yeah! Just want to point that out.
Got through it.
Just want to point it out.
Oh man, I hope it's not hurting me now though.
A little bit. Suck it up though. Marines.
Yeah. Hey, take care of yourself, man. Like just like me, I'm taking some time off from this junk. I've been fighting the good fight for a while, and you know what? I'm not calling it junk, so sorry about that. I don't mean to offend anybody, but right now I feel like junk, and I'm also in college, earning my my degree in aviation, and I've got other stuff going on. So it is a stressful situation I'm in. And I love everybody to death that follow me and send me messages. Top, you're a big voice today. Just me deciding that maybe I should just take a break and then try to come back. But at some point or another, if I can't do it anymore, I just can't do it. I'm going to teach as much as I can and learn as much as I can from everybody else, because there's so much to learn. I don't know everything. I don't. Hey, Top, thank you so much. I'm gonna get to the other panelists. Yeah, what's up?
In on this real quick, I have taken time to go into some of these other lives. It's good to see, that someone brought up the white privilege and all this other stuff. It's good to see and understand from people who've been through those experiences with this country and how the system has worked against them basically their entire life. It's important, and people, say bash the military for talking about this stuff. And to be honest, and I'm sure any other veteran in here can say this, there's only a requirement to spend 1 hour talking about this every year. And that's your equal opportunity training, where we talk about diversity and stuff like that. So my opinion, it should be more. You have to get out there. It's good to get into some of these lives and discuss it with them and try to understand how can we fix it. That's it, though.
I appreciate you, and again, thank you for all your years of service. That is a lot of years to deal with bone spurs. Believe me, I could only imagine how painful that was. So thank you so much. I think you left as a gunny, right?
Master sergeant.
Oh, you're a master sergeant?
Yeah, I was telling you earlier. I was telling you about a story when I was like 2013. I was a gunny at the time, but it's master sergeant.
It's still going.
Top, they call them tops. 2017 is when I was promoted. So, all right, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and we'll talk again soon. I'm going to take a break, but I'll keep in touch with you.
All right, take care, brother.
You too. Semper Fi.
I was chatting with Bubbles for a little bit. That's why I left. She pulled me up.
If we can make it quick.
That's fine.
I don't know if my Tylenol's wearing on, but let's go through who was next. I think we'll go from the top.
I got little pointers everywhere on me right now.
No, this fucking asshole.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that whoever told you that you were a baby unaliver when you were overseas in a war, that was just plain stupid. Because it came down to whether you came home. You did something that you had to do. That's what you had to do. So that just didn't make common sense. I've never been in the military, and I have enough sense to know that. The other thing, unMAGA Granny, what you have to understand, Bobby, is that you have a habit of trying to protect her, but she has taken on a role where she is going to get punched from both sides. Whether she likes it or not, she's gonna get knocked down. That's just the nature of the beast. And you're not gonna always be able to be there with her. She's gonna have those hard questions, and she's gonna have to learn how to answer them. The only way she's gonna learn how to answer those questions is for those questions to come to her. There are gonna be people that are not going to forgive her. The truth is, she did something wrong. She served time. A lot of people feel like she didn't serve enough time, because there are people who've done less than her that have served more time in prison than she did. So, that has to be understood too. So I'm open to hearing what she has to say. Sometimes I want to hear what she has to say too. I want to know why she did what she did. And she still has some decomposing to do. She still has a lot to learn.
Deconstruction or decomposing?
I'm sorry, deconstruction. She's not totally innocent in all of this. She's gonna waver back and forth as she learn new things, as these questions come to her. And we just have to sit back and let the process weigh itself out. You know, she's actually doing a lot better than a lot of 70-year-olds in her age. You know, she's still driving, still on the circuit. She know how to go on TikTok. I know some 70-year-olds. I know some 50-year-olds that don't know how to go on TikTok. So she's doing pretty good. You just got to sit back and let the process happen. She'll be okay. She's good. She went. I've never been to prison or jail. I've never been thrown down and had my shoulder dislocated or anything. She got through all of that and she's still standing. She will be okay. So don't worry about her.
Huh?
Okay, that's all I have to say.
Renee, I appreciate that.
That probably Jane needs to be involved with, right?
I believe that
it really needs to be.
a difficult thing to go.
Won't even let Tasha talk in there at all.
That you're in a cult.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And then going from recognizing that you're in a cult
Sasha that was
to
the boss,
taking responsibility
he
for what you did, and
went the old
society says
interrogation tactic
and that's what court
instead
does.
of letting
Society
her
says
speak
you need
her
to
own
be in jail for
voice.
60 days.
I know.
That's what she did. So she paid her dues to society for her mistake, and she didn't have any previous criminal history.
Well, you could have
She's,
been like this, or didn't
she has
you
no
do
criminal
this,
history,
and didn't
actually.
you do
And she was
that?
a counselor before that.
And then having a
is a
white
person
man is
fighting
like,
cancer
oh, I respect
at
you
the age
because we
of
both
70.
serve, right?
And
To
I am a person
that
of
top guy
compassion
and
because my
placating
mother
to
has
him,
cancer.
right?
It
Fucking
is
irritates the
cancer
crap
that
out of me.
is it's terminal cancer.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of had to
And
back away for a little bit. But I want to go in there because I want to make sure that
I
Tasha
understand
gets a
what
voice.
chemotherapy can do to you. And the fact that she's trying her hardest
Fuck.
to baby step her way, and she's even saying, yeah, I'm trying to learn. At what point are we going to say and stick by our values in the Democratic Party and say, we are people who are not going to stigmatize you the way people that get felonies and they serve time, and after they get out, they're stigmatized. And so, should we stigmatize people, regardless of race, after they get out of prison? And my answer is no, because they have something to contribute after they get out of the prison sentence, right? And Black community, Mexican community, white community, anybody else I forgot. I think that once you serve your time, you should not be stigmatized. I hate that. I really dislike the fact that they're stigmatized. You've done your time. So I think that she needs to take baby steps, and I think she's in the right route at this point. And she's actually interviewing MAGA. She posted her video, and she's trying to get them with aha questions, because she's going over bills now and saying, did you know that this bill is taking away women's rights? And she is doing her best, and I see it. And I will be absolutely disappointed if she reverts back to what she was doing before. So I get you.
Won't.
I get you.
She probably won't, but you know, anytime when you're playing a game, football, basketball, boxing, you know, you play the team that's on your level, you know, and then you work your way up. And so right now, she's going into all of the Democratic lives. So I guess now you're saying she's going into the MAGA live. Had she gone into the MAGA lives first, she would have really been torn down. Who knows what she would have done to herself? Because they would have really devastated her. So this is a good thing that she's going into the Democratic lives, and people are saying the things that they're saying to her, telling her their truths. Because you have to remember too, that insurrection caused deaths, caused unalives, caused a lot of people hurt. A lot of people were upset about that and still are. And there's still, you have some people that no matter what you do, they will never forgive you. Some people are just unforgiving, you know, and
Are you listening? Are you listening to what you're saying?
yes,
Okay. There's people on the left that are not going to forgive her no matter what. And that's exactly what you're saying.
that could be true.
And El Renee, are you okay with what happened yesterday? A 7-year-old woman just being verbally attacked by everybody.
What I'm okay with is that the hard question.
No, I'm asking a question. If you'll please answer my question.
Okay,
I've answered your question.
I came in on the end part of it, so I didn't know the whole everything that went on. I heard that it went on for 7 hours. I wasn't there. I didn't listen for 7 hours, so I don't know what all went on. When I came in, it was a lady, Real, I think her name was. She came in speaking, and then MAGA Mommy said, "Are you threatening me?" And then you said something, and then you went off because you said you were sick, and then MAGA Mommy, which sounded like a threat, and then MAGA Mommy left. So that's when I came in. So, and you know, based on everything I heard, now the host of that live, she was getting beat up yesterday, and she was getting beat up today. Worse, from what I could see, than MAGA Mommy was getting beat up. And I went into the ladies' live today, and they were all beating up that.
So you're suggesting that yesterday you didn't hear the entire conversation, but you're basing your opinion based off a partial conversation.
I've been in different lives where I've heard people talk.
That wasn't my question, though. I asked you about that specific live.
You're not in there.
You didn't hear the entire live, so you're basing your
I've heard her in
based off of a partial.
Is this going to be an interrogation or a conversation? That's the first question.
Oh, well, I can interrogate. Yeah.
No, you
I
can't, because I do the same thing
You're
that you do.
specifically stating. You're stating that you only heard parts of the end
of the
and you're basing-
conversation yesterday.
Okay, but you're basing your opinion based off only what you heard, not the entire
I'm basing
sequence
my
of what actually
opinion
happened.
based on what I heard today and the conversations in the lives that I heard in the past 4 days.
I'm not talking about all the other lives because I didn't take part of it. I'm not going to comment on other lives that I didn't take part of, because that would mean I'm doing what you're doing and basing an opinion
What I
on
said
just a
to
partial
you
skit of what
is
was actually
that
happening.
she is going to get beat up. She has done something wrong. There are people upset about what she did. I have asked her questions. She has spent 60 days in prison.
You are not the judge or jury. She's already done her time. She did her jail time.
You are not the judge and jury either.
No. Yeah, because the judge already
Or are you on here as a host?
The judge already ordered
Because
her 60 days in jail.
yesterday I saw when you left the live and you were upset with the person because you didn't get your way, because you were making comments at the bottom when you should have been on the panel being quiet.
Oh, I didn't know I can't.
Like
I
you
can't
expect
comment.
that of everybody.
Who said I can't comment?
The lady
Who
had
said
to
I
tell
can't
you
comment?
to be quiet.
She doesn't control me.
The lady had to tell you to be quiet because
I
you
can
were
make comments
instigating.
if I like. Hold on a second.
That wasn't.
I'm gonna mute you for a second. I can make comments if I'm in a live, and if you don't mute me, well, that's just too bad. I can make comments, and I obliged because if Chad did something, I was like, okay, I will stay away from commenting because I was correcting his statements in the moment. But you didn't want it. Hold on a second. You can stay quiet for a second, or I'm gonna boot you. I'm commenting not only to take notes because they go from topic to topic, and I go into the comments and I say, you know what? I'm going to correct as he's making false statements in the comments to make a mental note, and I can go back up and keep track of what he's saying, because a lot of what he was saying was false. So, El Renee, you're talking about a lot of opinion, but here's the fact. You're going to stay muted. A jury found
have done, right?
Just boot her. I'm gonna boot you. You don't want to pay attention.
It don't matter.
Bye. Look, let's check this out, guys. She's already done 60 days. Society said you have to do 60 days as a punishment. She did her 60 days. She's paid her debt to society. That's it. She's done. What does she do as she gets out? Do we still stigmatize her like the way some people don't want to be stigmatized? Because our people that I've run into, there's somebody that I came up on that has received a 20-year prison sentence. And I can name his name, but I'm not going to. Received a 20-year prison sentence because he's dumb enough to put his first name and last name, and he can look him up and see what state he's from. And then when I bring it to his attention in his comments, because he's bashing other people that have felonies, and I said, how long did you serve? And all of a sudden, I'm a racist because the host was a person of color, which I'm a person of color. And he sat back and realized now he knows what I did. And he did come up and said, yeah, I did serve 20 years. But you don't want to be stigmatized now, do you? You don't like to be stigmatized, right? Now, I want you to hear the calmness without somebody that can't argue or have a good civil conversation, because it is so quiet right now. We can actually have a discussion, and let's have Military Prince. I hope we can have a civil conversation. No name calling. I'm not feeling well, Military Prince. Unfortunately, I don't feel like arguing today. So if you want to make a point, go for it. I don't want any name calling. If not, you're just out, okay? And if you want to have your life, if you want to try to pull people out of my life to go to yours, like you did earlier, so be it. Go for it. If somebody wants to follow you in my life, go for it. I'm not like that. You're free to cherry pick whoever you want to cherry pick from, okay? So let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, thanks for judging me or you even knowing me. I don't know you from a can of paint. I've never heard of you, never seen you until today, when I was advised that you had done some things that I thought was not man-like. But I did have to make. But I frankly am offended by how you just treated Elvin. So I respect you. I'm just going to drop it because
Oh, yeah, bye. Well, if you're not going to call me a man and respect me like a man, then I already told you, no name calling. And that's what I'm talking about. You can't even conduct yourself civilly. That's the first thing you do is come into this live and start disrespecting. And you think that I should be disrespected after I've given most of my life to my country?
What
have you done that is so patriotic? Militant Prince. You call yourself militant, right? Oh, because we talked before.
No, we've never
and
talked
we
before.
did not have a conversation that was well. So I'm telling you, let's have a civil
I've never
conversation,
spoken
because
to
our
you.
last conversation.
I've never
yes, we
spoken
have.
to you. I've never spoken to
have.
you ever.
I remember you very, very
I've
well.
never spoken to you ever. I've never even heard your name other than today.
Okay, what do you got for me, Buck?
I got nothing for you because you disrespected a black woman, and I don't go for that. Peace.
Well, she disrespected a Hispanic man, so peace. I don't know what's up with my lights here. Kind of went out. All right, guys. That's kind of weird. Hold on a second. All right. Look.
We got two more people in the
exact-
box. It's 10:12, so I'm not sure who wants to go next, but
I want to say this real quick. You see how they automatically just say that I kicked out a black woman? That is not what I did. She couldn't conduct herself in a civil manner, and she was saying falsity. So therefore, I told her, if you can't conduct yourself civilly right now, especially right now, I can't deal with it. I'm not feeling well. I've mentioned that 100,000 times already. So yes, I just don't feel like I don't feel like arguing. Okay. And I asked him, we have actually spoke, Military Prince. We have spoke, and he is not civil. I know it, right? So anyways, let me see, who is that? Kentessa.
Yes.
Hello. Quintessa, how are you?
Good. Bonjour, Anin. I'm Quintessa. I am Ojibwe Métis from Canada, the United States of America, and I am a two-spirit individual who is indigenous to this land. I'm sure if you don't know what Ojibwe is, we are indigenous. So there's a couple of things that have kind of been said. I don't want to get too much into too much here because you said you're going to end soon, and I don't want to make too long because I do want the last guest to definitely be able to speak as well. So there's one thing I kind of need some people to understand, at least from my perspective. It's really hard to ask with somebody who not only helped perpetuate, my harm at one point or another as an indigenous person with some of the environmental racism that Trump's administration had done, but it's also really hard to say, hey, let bygones be bygones just so we can all vote for Biden. Well, Biden is doing things like the Willow Project and sign more fracking and drilling permits than any other previous president in my lifetime. And I'm in my mid-30s, for the record. So what I guess what I'm trying to get across is I understand that some people want to help coddle people into the position where they're on the same side and fully understand. But for some of us in like, for example, the indigenous community, it's really hard to do those things because it's not like we're sitting there with hatred. It's because there's an inherent distrust. We're already under something called a femicide/G-side, because of things like MMIW and MMIP. We go missing at 56% of all missing cases are indigenous people, and 80% of those cases are never investigated. So it doesn't matter what administration is going on. It doesn't matter if this ex-mega person needs to be coddled. I personally am under a G-side, and I don't have time for that. Can you maybe understand from that perspective?
Yes. And Quintessa, I've mentioned this before. I didn't know, and I've said this, I want to learn more about different social groups, right? And I spent the last 10 years only thinking about law enforcement, studying up on law enforcement. And that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. And I really find that you have a lot of the knowledge that I'm looking for. So let's start a live, Quintessa, so you can teach me more about that community. And I've said this before, but what I won't take anymore, and I've had it, is the name calling and dropping in for, somebody in the comments saying that I don't allow BIPOC people to come. That's not true. That is not true. So let's have a live, Quintessa, and we can have you as a special guest. Email me or message me on personal message when I come back. Actually, I would like you to host it. I'll be the host. I'm going to keep track of it. I want you to talk about it with me because this is not something that I am an expert on. I want to learn more about it. And I think that you'd be the person that can come up here and talk to me about it in a civil manner, right? Can we agree on that? Would you like to do something like that?
I can definitely do education for you, but can you do me a favor before we get to that point while you're taking your break? Can you read one book for me? It doesn't matter if you listen to it on audiobook, like on passing to sleep at night. It's called The Highway of Tears. It's different than The Trail of Tears. It is not something most people have read. And all it does is explain an international highway between the United States and Canada and how many people have gone missing on it and have never been found to this day.
I can't promise you I'm going to finish it. And the reason why, Quintessa, okay?
Even starting it is good enough.
Okay, I'll look for it. Is it something I can get Amazon? Or
100% you can get it on Amazon.
Okay. I will start it. I don't think that I can finish it. I've got, I am a flight instructor. I've got other things I got to deal with. I'm also in college working on my aviation degree. And I do set aside some time for this. But as soon as I'm done here, I got to go back to doing my work. And I also got to get better because I'm not feeling good. Yes, let's keep in touch, Quintessa. Let's talk about it. And we'll talk about it next time when I come back. But message me, please. Okay?
There's only one other question. You said you're person of color. You're indigenous Mexican? Like is your family indigenous?
I'm So I'm a Spaniard. I've dated it back from 1580, I believe, is where my lineage dates back to, and it's from Spain. And then we had some conquistadors that came over to Mexico. I have Indian in my family, but it's a Spanish Indian, so it's not North American. And I don't know the terminology. And then they came over to Mexico. I'm a fifth generation. We did have farmers in Mexico, and they ended up coming over to the United States.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to ask that question because, again, indigenous people are on all sides of the border. So thank you for that, and I guess we will talk another time because I want to leave a lot of space for that next guest. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Okay, new group, what's up?
How you doing? So this has been interesting conversation, and some equitable, some not so much. So I'm here to partake into the same thing. So do you think that people expressing their concerns and their cautions with the woman that was discussed, Granny, that it's illegitimate for them to do so simply because she served her time? Or do you think that those concerns and cautions are valid?
Yeah, and I appreciate that question. Matter of fact, I think you're free to feel how you feel. And if you want to hold her accountable, or you don't want to agree with her, or you're suspect of her, that's fine. But understand that she doesn't have to subject herself to that. And I think we both can agree with that, right? That she doesn't have to subject herself to that.
Right. Yes, we can agree to that. Also, I think that being that she said that she was, a better person and she wants to be reformed, seeking redemption and things of that nature, do you think that it's very a requirement that she listens to a multitude of different voices from different groups of people to help with that redemption and to help gain her own better understanding for self-gain?
So that's a question that you would probably have to ask her. I don't like to answer for her, but from what I've witnessed, she has taken criticism, and she comes back and says, I'm willing to learn, I'm trying to learn. And that is specifically what she said. So I'm not going to try to tell you what she might be thinking. From what I've gathered and speaking with her, she is apologetic for the things that she did. She didn't have any previous criminal history. And you know what? I think that baby stepping over to the right side of history, even though she's already part of the wrong side of history, I think that redemption is something that she's looking for. And if she wants to subject herself to something that you're talking about, then that is up to her. I am not making her decision for her. But what I also was disappointed in was how that live was conducted. And the host even came up to my live earlier and specifically stated that she was sorry for how it was handled, right? That was her words, not mine, okay? And I agree with her, and I said, but it is very difficult to control a live. It is.
Right. I got you. So this is the other thing, right? So what you don't realize is that, see, regardless of difference of opinions, right, people can actually have equitable dialogue and deliberate what their differences are, deliberate what their similarities are in their ideological thinking, and then discuss what those differences are and see if they can either agree to disagree or completely come to an agreement. Okay, well, you have your belief, I have mine. This is my belief and my experience. That's yours. We're going to leave it at that. We could part our ways, right? So
yeah, that's fair.
With that being said, and you could agree to that, right?
Yes.
Right. So with that being said, right, this is Taurus. You see how we can have an actual conversation and you not boot me and we can discuss these things. Like I got booted because I made a statement from my main page, right? And that was all because of feelings versus actually knowing where I was going to come from. Because I had no idea where I was going to come from. I literally asked you in the comment section, right? What was the problem? And how did I threaten you? Because I had gotten word, numerous messages, that it was stated from your behalf that I threatened you. And I wanted to have a conversation with you yourself about that. Because this live is being held about me and I'm nowhere to be around. I was in the bed. And I knew nothing about it.
What was your original screen name?
Mr. Torres King. Mr. Torres King.
Yeah, you know what you said.
Yeah, what did I say? So why are we how did I threaten you?
You wanted a handle outside of TikTok, didn't you?
Well, I never did that.
Okay.
I never told you that. Tell me where I told you that at.
Look, let's go back to being civil, because we're just going to go back and forth, and you're going to stick to your opinion, I'll stick to mine. Let's just keep it civil.
I'm being civil.
So I know, I can hear it, and I'm good with this conversation. I can actually have this conversation with you, and it's civil, right? So look, you can have a difference of opinion with her, and if she wants to subject herself to that, that's up to her. But what I didn't like was that she was actually getting on the defensive, saying, I don't want to do this anymore because it's going nowhere. And so, yes, we can have that civil conversation. I appreciate your tone the way it is now. And you know what? I think the way, I didn't even know who you were. And I think my mindset is like, I look at my panelists, right? And they're coming off as somebody that's civil, somebody I can get along with. Let's talk about it. That's something that I can do. But if you're just going to sit there and name call and argue with me, I can't deal with that. First of all, I'm not feeling good, and I keep saying it. But okay, Taurus, look, we can go back into the replay. It got out of hand. There's some things I probably said that I probably shouldn't have said, but it wasn't to the effect of what I received. But I own the things that I say. As a matter of fact, the finger was not for the female, it was for you and the other guy that was there, because I was pissed off at you guys. And I don't take threats kindly. I don't, plain and simple. So good on you for coming up here and having that conversation. But what is your point that you want to make today? What is it that you want?
My thing is the clarification, because while you may feel some type of way about you being threatened or whatever the case may be, which is valid, my thing is make sure that you're addressing it to the right person, because I never threatened you. I never said anything to you when I was having an equitable conversation with Granny Pam or whatever the case may be. And everybody who knows me knows that when I speak about things of that nature, I don't speak to just the person I'm talking to in the panel. I speak in the boxes. I speak to those in the panel in the comment section that's actually interested in learning too. I don't speak to one singular person. I speak to, because there are some people who are genuinely trying to deconstruct. And so a lot of things that I said to her was not meant for just her. You all took that as me attacking her for whatever reason or whatever, because I'm displacing and I'm talking about our lib troops, right? And then while I was I got you. I'm gonna land my plane right here so you can respond. While I was talking to her, you were the one that actually initiated the nonverbal disrespect by pointing at your wrist as for time and telling me to wrap it up when I never knew who you were. I wasn't even addressing you.
Okay. I apologize.
Oh, you can respond to some more of what I said just now. I'm not gonna cut you off.
I just wanted to apologize for that. Yeah, it was rude, but there's no excuse. I apologize for that. Yeah, I did go like this, land your plane, because you said you were gonna land the plane, and I wasn't. It's not an excuse. I'm not going to make an excuse. I did do that. Like, come on, let's go. So I apologize for that. But we'll let bygones be bygones. But one thing I'm going to tell you right now is that I'm not going to allow Granny to be disrespected anymore, because she's doing the best that she possibly can with what she has. Period.
Right.
Now,
got you. So
having said that, do you agree with everything that was being said in that group that day? Are you okay with that she was being subjected to that?
No, I actually don't agree with it. The fact that she was subjected to it, because she had all free will to leave on her own volition. She had all free will to like just completely stop engaging with those who she felt were her, and multiple options, right? That she wasn't subjected to. So no, I don't agree with that. And furthermore, that my main point of that was, and it's been said by you actually, like we're all grown adults, right? And if I don't want to engage with somebody, I will verbally let them know, like, hey, look, I don't got time for you. I'm not going to discuss this with you.
I'm so
or whatever
sorry.
the case may be.
I'm so sorry. 1 second. Let Banana, please. If she's, if they, I'm so sorry. If they are up there, bring Banana up. I'd like to speak to her. Sorry. My apologies. I'll get to you in a second, Banana. Okay. All right. Look, Taurus. I apologize for doing this because after you said land the plane, you said you're gonna land the plane, and I got frustrated. I wasn't feeling good. It's not a good excuse. I apologize. Do you accept my apology?
Yeah, sure. I will tell you, I will say this though, while you're apologizing for that part, I do need to get this situated about the threat, because making allegations that somebody threatened you is serious. And one thing about me,
so is a threat.
Right. But again, address the threat to who threatened you, not to me, because I never threatened you. Right. And when you make allegations that I threaten you, that proof needs to be there. We need receipts for that. Because
no, I don't.
Why not?
You know why?
Why not? If I call you an essayer, do you think that that's okay for me to just say you're an essayer without proof?
Hold on. So there are people who've heard it. There's other people that messaged me about it, and they know who did it. I didn't have to message them. They messaged me, and they've heard it. Okay. And yes, I am privileged for how it works. And you're saying that I need receipts. I only need receipts if I take you to court. And it's not libel, because this was what I heard and what I perceived, and it is reasonable. So you're incorrect on your assertions, and you're trying to argue a point that's not.
No, he's not incorrect on his assertions.
Hold on, Banana. Hold on. So, Taurus, we can pick this up another time. Let's let things simmer down a little bit. I need a break. Okay. So let's message each other. We can hash this out. Okay. And we can move along. Okay. I am on the same side as you may not know this, but I am trying to teach people about the border. Okay. And I am voting for Biden. I'm riding with Biden because I think that there are issues with Trump that are numerous issues. Okay. So we are actually on the same side, and I'm taking the panel's advice that I've had earlier, and I'm telling you, I am on your side. Okay. I am on Banana's side. I'm going to refer to Banana as Banana because I keep screwing it up, and I am apologetic for that, but I'm not going to allow somebody to disrespect me either, because I don't deserve that either. Okay. So, Taurus, let's keep in touch. I extend the olive branch because you are part of the left, and I will take this down, and I'm going to give this another shot. I am on your side. I hope you treat me as if I am on your side, because I am a firm advocate of what you're trying to say. I just say it differently. Okay. So I'm going to unmute you. I'd like to move on to Banana, and I'm going to call it quits for that because I'm not feeling good. So what you got from me, Taurus? What do you got? I'm extending the olive branch to you and saying, hey, we could be friends. I'm extending it out to you. I'm just saying to you that I'm on your side.
Yeah, right. So my thing with that is,
I can't win. I can't win with you.
What are you talking about? Dude, I never said anything. Like what? Prejudgmental much?
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Okay, that's what I'm talking about, because you said, yeah, what? Yeah, right. And I'm
That's the way
literally.
he started his sentence. That's literally the way.
That's crazy.
Hold on.
That's wild.
You guys,
I am extending the
stop,
olive branch.
Bobby.
Hold
Wait
on.
a minute. Don't.
No, Banana.
That is wild, bro.
You're talking about my cousin
asking
right
you.
now. That is.
Hold on. Just keep muting, Banana.
Why?
We'll get to
You're literally
Look,
purposely
I'm talking to
misunderstanding.
Taurus.
That is wild.
I'm extending. I've apologized, okay, for going like this in the comments. And I'm saying to you, I can be your friend. And if I had that response, I would purposely be, it's a microaggression, okay? So if somebody came to me like that and they're offering me an olive branch, I say, hey, bro, let's shake on it. Do you accept that olive branch? That's all I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't accept your olive branch. I don't do gaslighting well. I won't be manipulative with anybody. So the fact that you prejudge I can tell the fact that you prejudge what you thought my answer and my response.
All right, cool. So we got the answer there. It doesn't matter what I say. This is the same thing on the right. It doesn't matter if I give them facts. They're going to continue with that. So what's up, Banana? How are you?
I really wish I could say I'm doing okay because I don't feel like I am. I've just witnessed you completely, purposefully, seemingly misunderstand my friend that was up here while I was trying to understand what happened. So if you're saying that it's okay for someone to make an accusation such as a threat, and specifically to an Afro-Indigenous man who has not threatened anyone whatsoever without any evidence, and you're saying that people have heard things, you're saying that people things or witness things, and you're making a claim, providing evidence for someone to even take accountability, right? So if he's telling you he didn't say it, you're saying, no, yes, you did. That what evidence is that? That's a source of trust me, bro. I can probably find 10 people right now. If I tell them to say something, they're going to say the same thing that I want them to say. What we want to see is evidence. What we want to see is proof that he actually threatened you. Because to place an accusation on an Afro-Indigenous man who has never threatened anyone is dangerous. Do you have any idea how TikTok works and how the internet works? People can
I know how the law works.
Exactly, and people can feel emboldened by hearing something like that. If there are people that ride for you, that are extremely devoted to your platform, hear that you've been quote unquote threatened by someone, what do you think happens to him? What do you think happens to him?
Well, you shouldn't have threatened anybody. Shouldn't have threatened me.
They will show the proof that it happened.
Show the proof that it didn't.
How does that work if it was in your live and you don't have any evidence?
Well, if it's on TikTok, how am I going to provide that information?
What do you mean
to
if it was on TikTok?
So you're saying because I can't prove it and I don't have access to the video that how am I going to prove
Whose
it
live
if
was
I don't
it
have
in?
access?
You can't ask them for proof?
Who am I going to? Who am I going to ask that's going to
Who
give
said
it
it
to me?
happened in a live? Okay, so then why can't you ask the person that was the host?
I have witnesses, and do you know how the law works with witnesses?
We're not talking about the law right now. We're not talking about the law. Then let's talk about the law. Because if we're wanting to talk about the law, then that's a completely different discussion than what I'm having. I'm talking about common decency between human beings. I'm talking about you taking some due diligence and contacting the person that was in the live that was hosting and saying, hey, can you download your live and clip that for me? It's a simple ask. It's not hard.
And so you're telling me I should go after him?
No, what I'm
legally?
saying is provide the evidence that he.
So are you telling me to go after him legally? Is that what you're saying?
When did I ever say that?
I'm asking you, is that if you want me to get the clip and you want me to go through that trouble, are you saying you want me to go after him legally?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so I extended the olive branch. Did I not?
That's a disingenuous olive branch. Completely disingenuous.
Okay, what else did you want to come here to talk about?
Why would this conversation suddenly be over because you don't want to take responsibility for defaming a person? Wrongfully so.
That is not defaming. As a matter of fact, if you want me to go after him legally and you want me to get the clip and you want me to go through
Did I say that I wanted you to go after him legally?
Okay, so you're saying you don't want me to.
You have no basis to.
Look, I'm not going to argue your opinion.
It's not an opinion. If he said something, he would admit to it. Provide the evidence. Where's the proof that he did that? Substantiate the claim.
There's a proof that he didn't.
I'm sorry. Why would we need to prove something that you're asserting? You have a positive claim that's been
Because
made.
you're
You have a
saying that
positive.
I'm
You have
libeling
a
it.
positive
You're
claim that's been
saying,
made. Your claim is that he said something and
hold
did
on.
something to you.
You asked me a question, and I'm going to answer the question. Because now you're flipping and saying I'm libeling him. Libel is a crime.
I
Therefore,
didn't say
it's up to you
libel.
to prove.
I said
And prove
defame.
it. And prove it.
I didn't say libel. I
Defame?
said defame.
What do you think libel is?
Okay. Again, I specifically used the word defame.
But do you think
Defaming someone, I did not use a legal jargon, libel. If you want to have a legal conversation, we can certainly do that. That's perfectly fine. But we're not having a legal conversation. This is TikTok, my guy. Maybe you need to walk outside and touch some fucking grass.
Okay, what else do you
Again,
need?
provide the evidence that you're claiming he threatened you, because at this time,
Is there anything else
you
you
are
want? Because
putting
if I
a
get the
mark on this
evidence,
man's back for your followers to attack.
nobody should be judging. I'm defending myself when he said he's going
Defending
to
yourself in the
take this outside of
proof.
TikTok.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. You can say whatever you want. I got this covered. I understand what you're trying to suggest, right? And you're trying to back up what he said. That's fine. That's what friends
No,
do.
listen to me.
But
If there was a clip and he did say what he said, I would have.
why do I have to listen to you?
Operator muted me. That's cute. If he had said what he said, he will
Why do I have to prove
take
anything to
accountability
you?
for what he said and
What
talk
do
to
you
you
think I
about
owe
it.
to you? What do I
You
owe
don't
to
owe
you?
shit to me. Then why would you say let banana up and not let
Exactly.
any of the other indigenous people up?
Exactly. Do you have something to
There
talk
was 4
about
other
that we
indigenous people that
discussed
were
the last
requesting to
time?
come up as well, but you didn't let them up, but you let me up. For what reason?
Well, you're making the claim that I am defaming him.
Yes, because
So
by
show your proof.
sharing false information that you have
Show
no
your proof.
evidence of.
Show your proof.
No,
You'll get there. Now
you made a positive
you
claim.
have to get. Hold
You
on.
posited the
Now you have to get the proof. Show there's defamation.
posited
Show
the
it.
claim. You made the positive claim that he said something about you.
Is there anything else you want to
You
talk
posited
about?
the claim. You're having the burden of proof on you if you're positing the claim. If you're
Only
just like
I'm.
if you were go to court, if you're going to file
Man,
something, you have to have proof to show to the courts that you have a reason to file it.
you think that you're correct in that notion?
I am.
Oh my gosh. No, you're not familiar with criminal justice?
I'm sorry. This would be a civil case. It would not be criminal. We're talking about
It is criminal. No, it's not a civil. No.
Do you think the police would pick him up for saying we should talk about this outside?
A threat is criminal.
Okay.
Banana.
Substantiate the threat.
I probably could if I got the video,
Does
but
he
I'm
know
not
where
going
you
to.
live? Does he know your real name? Does he
You
know?
don't need
Does
to
he know
you
your
don't need to have
area?
that.
Does he know any of this information about you? So it would
Just
have to,
making yourself
it
look
would
like a
have to be
fool in front of
positing
everybody else.
an outcome that could be plausible. Pick this up. Do you have any idea how many threats that I get on the internet from white supremacists because of the work that I do on this app? Do you have any idea the threats that to come and grape me and find me and bury me in the dirt? Do you have any idea how many claims that I get against me? Do you think I have any way of combating those, even if I involve law enforcement? They don't do anything. You should know better than anyone as an ex-police officer or an ex-person that worked in law enforcement, that y'all don't do shit for people unless they have substantiated evidence, unless there's a realistic claim or something to prove that this is actually happening. Because what you're doing here is getting on TikTok in front of 200 people talking crap about someone with no evidence.
I do have evidence. There's witnesses to it.
Provide the evidence and not witness testimony.
For what?
Provide the proof. Get the clip.
So you want me to go the legal route?
Did I say those words, or are you only asserting that if you get the clip, you will only be able to go to legal?
Yes.
Why? Because that's what you want to do.
No, because if I'm going to make that effort
If
to
I
go and
can't
do
have
that,
fun and defame someone on the internet without having to show proof, the only other option I have is go to court or file charges, even though I know they're never going to pick them up. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Be done. Be done.
Okay. Okay, Banana. Have a nice day. Do you have anything else to say? Good. All right. So defamation is civil, and a threat is actually criminal. It is it's actually a T threat. It's weird that they name it that. It is a criminal accusation, and there is witnesses that I have in my messages. They heard it. a couple people that heard it. What am I going to do? Go and get the clip and go through the mess of having to do that? You know what? It's a mess. I've offered an olive branch to what I believe is the far left, and I already heard it. They weren't going to take it. He wasn't going to take it from the very first sentence that came out of in his first sentence. So there's nothing we can do about it. I already heard he wasn't going to accept the olive branch, right? And he proved it. So that aside, our people have witnessed it. I don't need to back it up. If you want me to go that far and take it the legal route, I can, but I'm not going to. It's not worth it. I got other things to worry about. Tiffany, are you doing okay?
I'm hanging in. I'm still there. I'm sick and I got to go to bed. But yeah, that was a lot to digest and process. I'm sure I'm going to get a whole bunch of hate because I was blocking, spammers who continued to spam and say that we were blocking BIPOC community and doing that. So I don't know, but I think we both need to get some rest. You need to feel better. Please go to bed.
I'm going to get one more. Tiffany, if you want, you can get some rest. I'm going to get Moose in real quick, and then I'm done. I'm not feeling that good. So what's up, Moose? How's it going?
But go to bed. I accidentally hit the thing to come up, so I know you're tired.
No, you're good.
Yeah. No, I just listened to a little bit of it. And, just people knew, what we've dealt with in our lives. That, these Joker and his buddies, they just need to check themselves. They need to realize that, when they get in their little lives together, and start talking their shit, that it isn't for real. I mean, this is a platform. It's a joke when you get amongst your friends in there, and but sometimes some folks take it too far and get out of the bubble, go out. You really want to do something for the Democratic Party and you want to argue a point or do whatever you're doing, get out on the street and do some work and quit running your mouth. So
yeah, exactly. I agree with you. And you know what? It's weird because they think that I owe them something.
No.
And I don't. I give everybody, me, Moose. I've given everybody respect as far as I could, humanly possible, because I believe everybody deserves that respect. And I'm human. I make mistakes. I misspeak sometimes. And but ultimately, my message to everybody is to stop this crap. I want to be option that's going to extend the olive branch as I did, and they're not going to accept. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that are so far that they're not going to even. The bill's not going to allow them to take an olive branch. They just won't do it.
The day I'm talking about for the folks in the chat.
I got my dog in here.
Yeah, the day I'm talking about are the folks that were in that room on that panel that were talking shit and being disrespectful. And the other thing is there was a gal there earlier today that was all up in her feelings and saying that she felt disrespected as a Latina and the whole bit. Listen, what people need to understand that live belongs to you. It's your live, your deal. And when you bring guests on, your job is to protect them and to make sure they're not going to get roughed up. Number one is because you got to show that if other folks want to come on your platform, that you're going to do the same for them. And I've noticed on this app that people, think that they come up and they're talking shit and they're acting like they're doing you a favor by making a bunch of noise and they're making you money and all that kind of stuff. It's not about them. It's your deal. I've even been asked to go down. Yeah. You've asked me before, go down into the goo there. I want to bring somebody up. I don't take it personally. It's your deal. It's what you want to do. I'm fine with it. And you and I have been in situations where you go out in the field and there's two people interviewing and the one guy just needs to back out while the other one does his job. It's not personal.
Right.
All right, buddy. I'll let you get going.
That's true.
Okay. Have a good
Moose,
one.
thank you, brother. Hey, I'm gonna take some time off, but I'll be seeing you soon. I'll message you.
Yeah, reach out to me, okay?
You have a good night.
All right,
Sounds
buddy.
good. You take care of yourself.
You too.
All right, everybody. Look, everybody that's in the queue, I am so sorry. I am so tired. I'm not feeling good. I just want to say I'm sorry for everybody that's in the queue. I wish I could have gotten to everybody. I tried. That's why I was like, let's get this moving. I'm gonna take some time off. I definitely need it. I'm not feeling good. I also need to, just rewind from all this stuff and then get back to it. I'll come back. I'm gonna try for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I'll come back and we can definitely get back to it. I appreciate all your messages. I heard you, and we'll get back to it. We'll get back to the border. I think it's an important topic, and maybe we can just probably stick to it so that way I don't deal with other incidences, right? So we'll just stick to the border, and we'll go from there. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful Saturday. Take care of yourselves. Drink water. I need water. I'm over drinking a Celsius. I shouldn't be doing that. Love all my followers, everybody that is full of integrity. Remember, Biden is the way to go. Trump has 91 charges, 4 indictments, treats people like crap, and he cheats on his wife. He lost a million to COVID. Obama lost 2 people to Ebola. The right wanted to impeach Obama because of the 2 that he lost to Ebola. What a bunch of BS. He lost 2,000 people to swine flu, or a little more than that, for educational purposes only. The guy couldn't wear a tan suit. They wanted to impeach him because of the tan suit. Quid pro quo. He wanted to use Ukraine money as hostage to get Ukraine to investigate Hunter Biden. Guys, I've read his 91 indictments. It took me 3 days to read it. It took forever. If you read the indictments, unbelievable facts within those indictments. So I implore you to read the indictments. It's very important. I can't. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't do another. I am very tired. We'll do this again. Thank you all. I'll be back soon. Week and a half. Okay. Take care.